As great as Russell Westbrook and James Harden are, this is their last chance at an NBA championship. Two former MVPs, two of the best talents the league has ever seen, but to really skyrocket themselves up in the all-time rankings, they'll need that trophy over their head in October. The Houston Rockets have the talent to win an NBA championship, but the championship window for this team and this duo is closing. If Russell Westbrook and James Harden don't want to retire ringless and really complete their legacy, they must act now. The Houston Rockets have created a high-powered offense fueled by two of the most talented guards this league has ever seen. If Harden and Russ heat up, there isn't anything you could do to stop them, especially when they're both coming at you at the same time. But I believe there's a big problem with their offense. The Rockets are a team who has taken the new age of basketball to its extreme. Any decent NBA offense today needs spacing and capable three-point shooters. Any good offense will be able to put trust into their shooters. The Rockets have taken this to its extreme by creating a team that lives and dies by the three-point shot. If the Rockets are cold from 3 one night, they aren't winning that game. Simple as that. It's their whole offensive identity. But on the flip side of this, they can get hot and rain down threes like no other in the league. They've put all their trust in the three-point shot, and that's really how they win games. If they're hot from 3 one night, they can beat any team in the league. But if they're cold, the worst team in the league could beat them. The over-reliance on the three limits this team heavily. We saw this in Game 7 of the 2018 Western Conference Finals, where we saw the Houston Rockets miss 27 straight three-pointers. They weren't hitting that night, but kept on forcing them up, three after three, brick after brick, without switching it up, which ended up costing them a trip to the NBA Finals. Also, missing CP3 for this game helped with that. And this style of play is really shown in the team's star. We hear a lot of people talk about how the mid-range in today's league is kind of a lost art. Three-point shot is more valuable simply because 3 is more than 2. Steph Curry has really shown us the importance of the three-point shot and how it can be utilized in today's game. But the best players in the game can still play in the mid-range, and will do that throughout the game, especially in the clutch and in the playoffs. You see guys like Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard who could both play in the mid-range at an elite level, but we've seen Harden take a different approach to the game. Not to mention the best two scorers of all time, Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, who love the mid-range shot. Having that shot in your arsenal can spice up your whole game and really keep the defense honest to keep them guessing throughout the whole game. The Beard is taking about 13 threes a game this season and taking them at a pretty good rate at 35%. We've seen multiple games where Harden has shown his over-reliance on the three-point shot. Games where he shoots 2 for 16 or 5 for 17 from 3. Even games where he's taking 20 plus threes in a single game. This type of live by the 3, die by the 3 mentality could be the Rockets' downfall once again. Westbrook can help with this slightly because of his mid-range shot, but the whole makeup of the team screams three-pointers and will get them any chance they can. I think this mentality is just one of the Rockets' problems. It takes away any potential offensive versatility, and it will definitely limit them come playoff time. How much do you trust James Harden and Russell Westbrook in the playoffs? These two stars have gotten a lot of criticism in the past few years, and it's mostly warranted. Some of the hate is undeserved, but they've really been criticized for their playoff woes. Really, Russell Westbrook more than James Harden. When you have two players as good as Russell Westbrook and James Harden, you expect certain things from them. They're held to a certain standard. Things in the regular season become less impressive, and you start to point more towards their postseason play success or lack of success. Being wowed by these players' regular season play starts to fade, and we start to ask about that ring to really complete their legacy. These guys are as good as anyone in the league, and their talent is only comparable on an all-time level. But without the ring, they can't really complete their legacy, and they might one day be seen as like a Charles Barkley, Allen Iverson, John Stockton, Karl Malone, guys who were great, had a lot of longevity, but could never really get it done and win a championship. In the last 3 full seasons, Russell Westbrook has averaged a triple-double 3 years in a row, an amazing feat that no one in history has completed. But in those 3 years, he's been eliminated in the first round every single time, shooting under 40% from the field in each series, having very questionable efficiency and not really getting it done, but he was nice in the regular season. Harden's scoring in the past few years is only comparable on a historic level, and yes, he did lead the Rockets to the conference finals 2 years ago, but ultimately, he could not reach the NBA Finals. Basically, what I'm saying is that these two need to play out of their minds in these playoffs if they even want to think about an NBA championship. If they want to lead the Rockets to their first championship in 25 years, they're going to have to show us something they've never shown us. But do you trust these two to do this? To outplay LeBron James and Anthony Davis, to outdo Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and the whole Clippers squad, they still have to see teams like the Nuggets, Jazz, and Thunder before they can even think about other LA teams. Yes, they have the talent to beat teams like the Jazz, the Nuggets, and the Thunder, but I wouldn't be surprised if they lost to any of those teams. But I'll leave that up to you. But in my opinion, I don't see the Houston Rockets winning a championship within the next few years. We couldn't trust Russ to leave the first round as of late, so I don't know if we could trust him to lead the team to the finals, or at least be the second place player in the finals team. He has been better this season and more efficient, but we have to see how he performs in the NBA playoffs where it matters most. But at the end of the day, the Rockets still have the two of the best players in the NBA, so they'll always be in people's minds as a championship caliber team. But for Russell Westbrook and James Harden to really take that next step in their careers, they only need one thing: the ring. Russell Westbrook and James Harden have their last chance at an NBA championship within the next few years. Two great players. James Harden is one of the best shooting guards ever with his high volume scoring ability that has been ramped up over the last several years and has scored at a volume that's only comparable on a historic level. Russell Westbrook is the most athletic point guard in NBA history who can score, rebound, and be the number one playmaker for your team. Two great players, two MVPs, and two legends. These guys can do as much for their team as anyone in the league and will be recognized as all-time greats when they retire. But a star player's career can only be valued so much if they don't win a ring, which is unfortunate, but people value rings and winning on the biggest stage. Winning a championship can propel someone's career to a whole new level. And I think it's possible for Russ and Harden to win a championship together in Houston, but I think it's unlikely that it will happen with the two LA teams in their way, with the clock ticking for these two players. Thank you guys for watching. It's been Rashad with Hoops Times 2. Like the video if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you love NBA content like this. Peace out.